Hello, and welcome to the Raymond Corporation's LinkedIn Live series. I'm your host, John Slavic, Senior Manager of Intelligent Warehouse Solutions at the Raymond Corporation. Each episode of our LinkedIn Live series features special guests from the Raymond Corporation to discuss how intralogistic solutions can help you maintain efficient and productive operations. This series is interactive, so if there's anything that piques your interest or questions you may have about what we're discussing, please enter them in the question box below and we can answer them for you. Also, you can find previous episodes of our series on the Raymond Corporation's YouTube channel. Today, the fourth installment of our continuing series, we'll be discussing how to identify intralogistic solutions to best fit your operation. My guest today is the Vice President of Customer Solutions and Support, Mr. Dave Norton. He has over 30 years in the material handling industry, and he brings to the table a background from design engineering to quality to TPS and customer support. He has also been in the ANSI ITSDIF B56 standards family and the Industrial Truck Association for over 20 years. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, John. Happy to be here.
So, Dave, let's get right into it. The first question I'm sure many of our viewers have today is, what are intralogistic solutions?
Well, we look at interlogistic solutions as all the tools and technologies available to help optimize your operation, from forklifts to professional services and everywhere in between. Raymond recognizes that every operation, every customer is unique and requires different solutions in order to optimize. Even different facilities within a customer base may have different opportunities and different ways to improve their overall proficiency and productivity. And this is one of the benefits of working with Raymond and our Solutions and Support Center teams.
Excellent. In addition to that, I know from many conversations that I've been having that operations out there today, they're looking at automation as a solution and they want to jump right into it. They're excited about it. But is that the best course of action? What should they be considering first?
Well, we like to suggest that everybody think about optimizing your operation and connecting and then automating. Jumping directly to automation is not always the best path forward. We'll talk about that as we move along here.
Excellent. So you said optimize was first. Why is that the first step?
Well, when you start off with an inefficient process and you automate it, you basically make an inefficient process slower, and maybe even it won't work. And then you have to iterate the automation as you work your way toward optimizing it after you automate. It's much more effective to optimize a process or a flow before you automate it, so you can make sure you drive cost savings into your process and you minimize the repetitive nature of change after you automate.
And I think by spending extra time on that repetitive nature, you're actually eating into your ROI.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So that's great information, Dave. So when we're talking about this optimization journey, what are solutions that Raymond can provide to help our customers?
Well, we like to look at this as a step, a multiple step process. We want to gather and analyze data. We want to visualize and use our Raymond Lean management tools to improve process flow, utilizing that data, understanding where your efficiencies and inefficiencies are, and then setting up the facility for success later on for automation. Also, it's really important to talk about engaging your people with lean thinking, because your people are the people who know where the inefficiencies occur. And starting there is a huge opportunity to improve your overall processes. But if they're not able to or willing to share those improvements with your leadership team, you're not going to get there. So also remember, you can check our previous live LinkedIn broadcast on our Raymond Lean management process.
Great. So, we've talked about the processes, we've talked about facilities, but what about operators? What are things we can do to optimize their training and proficiency?
Well, as you know, Raymond has our Safety on the Move operator training program, but we, over the last couple of years, have released our virtual reality training process and our virtual reality simulators. We really like the opportunity to be able to train the proficiency and efficiency of operators using VR, allowing our operators to learn rules of the road, making sure they're all operating the same way in their daily operation, but also we can allow the operators to experience scenarios and situations that they will never be able to experience in a stationary place like they can on a virtual simulation. So we can expose them to pedestrians, to other forklift traffic, to over-the-road truck, trailer interactions, and those types of things to really help that operator get comfortable, or those operators get comfortable with their learning and be ready for the real life when they get on a truck that actually is moving. The other thing we like to think about is the cool factor. We really think that this is helping with retention and also attracting new employees. It also allows us to pre-screen operators to quickly determine whether an operator is going to be able to operate a forklift truck, be comfortable operating a forklift truck, and even in certain circumstances, operate a forklift truck elevated. It gives a very realistic rendering of being elevated, and operators really can determine whether they want to be working up high or not, or become more comfortable working up high in a stationary position on the virtual reality system.
Sure, and one of the things I've discovered from talking to the training departments is they like the idea that they can be training multiple people on the systems at the same time, because they get that visual on the screen, and it's portable, so it's able to move from location to location.
Right. Even the other people watching are learning. So if an operator is driving the truck and the instructor is explaining things or recommending things, the other students can be watching and learning, so that when it's their turn, they will become more proficient more quickly. Excellent.
All great stuff. So in addition to all of this, I know that from our previous LinkedIn Live session, Jason Fumey discussed our professional services team, and he stated that they can also help our customers understand how data can be used to optimize their processes, understand baseline efficiencies, but they can also assess readiness for automation as well.
Absolutely.
So let me take a look to see if we got questions from the audience. Looks like we have one from Kate. It says, how can organizations teach employees to continually look for optimization opportunities?
Well, this is a really good question. One of the things we like to think about when we talk about lean and Raymond lean management is the ideas to help optimize your process and your system really can come from your associates or your employees. They're the ones who see the inefficiencies. They see the challenges that they face every single day. And if management embraces the ideas or the frustrations of the employees, those ideas can be incorporated and help solve problems. And if we actually embrace those ideas, we call kaizens, we can quickly and efficiently continuously improve a given process or flow by improving not only the operator efficiency, but also morale.
Excellent. Great question. So Dave, the next step you mentioned was connect. And connect kind of sounds like we're bringing it all together. So what are some of the solutions that help to identify these optimization opportunities?
And so we look at several different areas to opportunities to optimize and connect. Our first area is through our iTrack system, where we can actually track all of the materials, services, maintenance costs, dispatching, all the reports of service information, and consolidate that data, and also obviously consolidate billing and invoicing to a customer. That gives us all the baseline of what the total cost of ownership is coming from, and where that is, what the cost drivers are. After we look at all of the maintenance related type costs through iTrack, we move into telematics. In telematics, we can think of that easily as it's like a Fitbit, or it's like an Apple Watch. That system is monitoring all the key parameters of the truck and gives us data on utilization of the truck. How's it being used? Is it traveling? Is it lifting? How much is it lifting? What % of the time are we utilizing that piece of equipment? And often with that data, we can determine that a very expensive truck that's meant for lifting loads is being used for mostly travel, where we could be using a different piece of equipment for the travel. We also can quickly identify inefficiencies with operations and the utilization of the equipment. Maybe you have more equipment than you need, or maybe you have not enough of a given type of equipment because it's utilized at 100%. So those are the types of things we could learn from telematics. We combine telematics with iTrack, then we can really bring the data to life with your cost drivers, your total cost of ownership, and different opportunities to be able to improve the overall efficiency of your operation. Bring that together with labor management system. We can collect and analyze data on what employees are doing, from when they show up to work until they go home at the end of the day. So we bring together that very large cost driver of the overall operation, which is your employees, making sure that we're maximizing the efficiency and effectiveness of the employees, the equipment, and obviously driving the overall cost of ownership down.
And I think one of the greatest things about these is that these products work incredibly well together, and they can be fully integrated, but they can be bought individually as well. So if you just want to start with iTrack because you're looking for cost information, you can start there and then gradually move to telematics and then eventually to LMS. It's all available for you. We have a quick question I want to answer. It says from Alex, does Raymond do on-site demonstrations of VR? There are teams that are interested but unsure about making the investment. So yes, we absolutely do. I would recommend that you reach out to your local solutions and support centers. They will have VR units that they can use to bring out to do those demonstrations for you. And it's really exciting to see those demonstrations live. People get on and they get really excited about it.
Yeah, I do have to add that, a lot of people say that, the kids are going to be really excited. The young people are going to be excited about it. But I've had some older people, we'll say older than even me, that have been on it and you can't get them off because they're having so much fun and they're learning. So there's nothing more powerful than learning and having fun at the same time.
Absolutely. Great question. So I know that Raymond has a wide range of solutions, from partially automated, or what we call operator assist, to full automation. So can you talk about the operator assisted technologies that Raymond offers?
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, or as we've mentioned before, one of the large challenges that everyone has right now is hiring people and retaining people. So we're continuously working on improving our products by creating operator assist technologies to help, not only with training, but also with improving proficiency and productivity of our customers' operators. One of those products is our zoning and positioning products. These are for very narrow aisle equipment, both swing reaches and order pickers. They basically automatically take the vehicle from one pick location to another. So it in wire guided applications, it ensures that operator is at the right pick face, and they can most efficiently and effectively pick that product and also get from point A to point B in the most efficient and effective way. So it drives very good repeatability, and obviously allows the operators to spend more time picking and less time trying to figure out where to be to the next pick face.
Yeah, so it takes out that decision making that they have to do.
Correct.
Awesome.
Also, we have our pick to pallet system for floor level picking, first and second level picking. Basically, with the great expansion we have in e-commerce, a lot of strain on driving order picking. Everybody's picking, every day we're getting product delivered to our houses as we requested, and most of the time in a pretty quick time frame. So order picking both with very narrow aisle elevated and picking from the floor is booming. So with this process, we actually have a LED lighting system that's mounted underneath the forks of the truck, so that an operator can pick to two orders at the same time and minimize or eliminate the chances of putting the wrong order on the wrong pallet. So this greatly reduces your pick errors, and basically make sure that operator knows which pallet, whether it's A, B, or C, that product should be put on. And obviously, reducing pick errors saves money all the way through, because you're not having to repick and reorder those products because we missed the order.
I think
the other thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, John. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think another thing about the pick to pallet that's great is how quickly we can train our operators to start picking accurately. I think it reduces that training time because there's a visual indicator, right? So it's a lot easier for them to understand exactly where they need to be picking to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very good training aid as well. So lastly, we have our Raymond Advanced system, which will allow helping the operators in an aisle with more efficient picking and picking process.
Awesome. So it sounds like a lot of customers could benefit from this today. But as you mentioned before, I think the best thing for each of our customers to do would be to reach out to their local support and solution centers, or if they are a national account, to reach out to their national account contact, and we can get them that information. So it looks like we got another question from, let's see here. It says, when thinking about optimization, what data sets should operations continually analyze?
Well, I mean, we talked about that quite a bit a little bit ago. We have your fleet data as far as what your maintenance costs are, what are your cost drivers, combining that with telemetry data, and then your operator data to try and drive maximum utilization of your operators, your equipment, and obviously in the end driving your total cost of ownership down by focusing on those cost drivers that may be driving that up, and that may be things as simple as debris in aisles causing damage to wheels and tires, or shrink wrap getting wrapped around different parts of the equipment, causing time and maintenance costs to get it untangled so that it doesn't do damage longer term to bearings and bushings and things like that. So all of that data combined together will help drive the overall cost down in the customer experience with the equipment and in their operation up.
So I think the key is data. You got to have data coming in from somewhere, whether it be from the trucks, from the people, and then that's where you're going to make your baseline decisions. Great.
Absolutely.
All right, so the last step we talked about was automate, and I think people get really excited about automation. We talked about how people are looking at automation today more than ever. So why are operations moving towards automation?
Well, as we already discussed, automation is the end all be all. But the challenge we have is, we have a lot of often customers come to us and say, "Hey, my boss says I need to automate. Where do I start?" And that's where we really think walking the path that we've described throughout this conversation is key. Making sure that we understand, what do we want to automate? We want to automate repetitive tasks that are, the same thing over and over and over again, so that we can minimize those repetitive tasks, get those operators or get those associates to a job that's more complicated, something that, obviously is less mundane, and they can continue to grow and help support your business. That's the first step. Knowing what you want to automate, how you want to automate it. We're here to help with our solutions and support centers and our automation teams to help work you through that.
Excellent.
Yeah, obviously, as we talk about, the benefits of automation. In the end, we want to reduce labor. We want to improve your overall efficiency. That's what everybody's looking for, and of course, we want an ROI. We're here to help and support. We have products to help you, and between our automated stackers, our tow tractors, and our pallet trucks, we have the capability of picking up and dropping off on conveyors and into shelves. We have the tow tractor capability of pulling carts and trailer loads up to 15,000 pounds capacity. And then we have the pallet trucks with transporting pallets over long hauls for putaways, cross docks, and to load staging applications.
I've had a lot of experience with our courier line, and I can tell you the ease of installation and implementation of these products is actually pretty impressive. How within just a couple of days, we can have the customer themselves comfortable riding around in these trucks and training them on the routes that they need to train them on. So not relying so heavily on us, but they can actually take ownership of their own product there.
Yes, that's true.
So it looks like we got one more question. Looks like, are there certain automated solutions that work better for e-commerce operations?
Well, as I said earlier, a lot of the e-commerce are picking elevated, and we are doing some floor level picking, but you're picking in a rack. Right now, we're still seeing order pickers and VNA or swing reach trucks picking. So we have semi-automated solutions to that, but not as much automation in that place right now. It still takes a lot of operator intervention to pick the right part, to get the right part in the right place, and obviously make sure that that right part ends up at our door. But I can imagine, and I can't imagine, but I will imagine that in the future, this will move more and more into the automation world with pick arms and those types of things as they evolve to solve these problems.
So I think you mentioned too that not every facility is going to be the same. So this really is going to be, cultivated to that particular facility. And even within the same organization, they can be completely different. So we have to look at it really on a site-by-site basis to find the right solution that works for them.
Absolutely.
So I know a lot of our customers, and there's a question too from our audience that's similar to this, that automation is a daunting topic and they don't know where to start, and they want to understand, what are the solutions we have that can help them better understand their needs and where to get started.
Yeah, obviously you can start at our website, but then reach out to your local solutions and support center. They have a team, standing by to talk to you about our products and obviously to talk about your process. As important or more importantly, let's talk about the process first and how we can optimize it, how we can make sure it's a great fit for automation. Because the worst thing we want to do is we don't want to automate a process and then realize it's not a good process to automate. We want to make sure we make that process a good automated process before we automate it.
Makes perfect sense. So let's grab one more question. From Julia, it looks like, do you partner with non-Raymond companies to provide automated solutions to their customers? Yeah, I think absolutely. It doesn't matter the fleet that you currently have inside of your facility. We can absolutely work with you to find a solution for automation. And that could range from our semi-automated to our fully automated solutions, just depending on your application. Awesome. All right. Well, Dave, you have provided a wealth of information today. So let's just take a quick moment to recap. So when implementing these intralogistic solutions, operations should consider the optimize, connect, automate pathway. Optimize being identify and solve waste. Connect being using data to root out inefficiencies and identify solutions. And automate will be for automation of those repetitive tasks. So by following this path, they can ensure they are using a calculated and data-driven approach to their needs, which should provide a much more successful outcome and a much more stronger ROI. Would you agree?
That's correct.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I want to thank you all for tuning in today and asking such great questions. A special thanks to Dave for taking time out of his very busy schedule to join me. And just a reminder, a recorded version of this episode will be available on the Raymond YouTube channel, and there you will find additional episodes as well. So thanks, everybody, again for joining. Thank you again, Dave, and everybody have a great day.
Thank you.